For your soul, honey, for your soul, honey, for your soul. For your soul, honey, for your soul, honey, for your soul. Thank you. This is a time of bullies. They're everywhere, and I grew up with bullies. I'm not from here, but I live here now, but I'm from Idaho, and there's bullies all the way over in Idaho too, you know? And I learned that the best way to defeat a bully, because they're slow and they're stupid, is you gotta outlive them. So yeah, it's about outliving bullies. I am no You won't dig my grave. I've been up to the mountain. There are things that you can't take. No, 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 no. Thank you. Thank you. I think, hello. lantern, light my lantern tonight. Where the thistles eat the thorns and the roses have no chance, it ain't no wonder that the babies come out crying in advance, and the children look for shelter in the hollow of some lonesome cheek. And the sky's so cold and clear, the stars might stick you where you stand. Boy, you're only glad it's dark. You might see the master's hand. You might cast around forever and never find the peace you seek. Be the light of my lantern, the light of my lantern tonight. I need light in my lantern, the light of my lantern tonight. Be the light of my lantern, the light of my lantern tonight. I need light in my lantern, the light of my lantern tonight. So if you got a light, hold it high for me. I need it bad tonight. Hold it high for me, 'cause I'm face to face. Hold it high for me, in a lonesome place. Hold it high for me, with all the hurt that I've done. Hold it high for me, that can be undone. Hold it high for me, light and guide me through. I want to sing a song. Sometimes I think, like, with everything going on, I just want to say, with everything going on in this absolutely absurd world that we have going on here all around us, I sometimes feel that in my very, very, very best moments, and sometimes they're just imagined moments, frankly, that what I'm trying to offer is like a campfire to somebody out in the dark, you know. But I feel that's the way we all feel when we're doing our best work, is that we're offering some sort of comfort, some sort of solace, some passage safely through to someone else, you know? And that's the heart of what we do, right? sometimes, just very sometimes, I get to feel that, and you guys do that every day, and you deserve everything that is available and offered, and you deserve everything for what you do, and just thank you. Thank you. Thank you for taking care of us. I carry the flame. I carry the flame. Let it always be said when they speak on my name that I carry the flame. I woke to a world full of darkness and grief, concrete and barbed wire, no hope for relief. But a hand held my hand in the night, and though brief, it slipped me the fire and it made me its thief. And I carried the flame. I carried the flame. Let it always be said when they speak on my name that I carried the flame. My flame, it was small, but from all I could see were millions and millions far worse off than me. And around us high walls built to keep us all free, full of statues to prove what we once used to be. And I carry the flame. I carry the flame. Let it always be said when they speak on my name that I carry the flame. But darkness can't fall on the whole world at once. The light will survive everything that's been done. Diseases and war, deportation and guns. The light will survive, not retreat on the run. And I carry the flame. I carry the flame. Let it always be said when they speak on my name that I carry the flame. My flame sometimes flickers and a light I might lose. So you'll understand if I do not salute. Wave flags or some scripture to prove what is true, that the light might survive to be passed on to you. And I carry the flame. I carry the flame. Let it always be said when they speak on my name that I carry the flame. Traps will fall on our way or get caught. Light can't be pent up or poisoned or shot. And the ones who are fed to the fire, they are not the ones who will give to the fire all they've got. And I carry the flame. I carry the flame. Let it always be said when they speak on my name that I carry the flame. Carry the flame. Carry the flame. Thank you. Birds beneath my window, dusty in their wings upon the lawn. I hear them in the morning light, giving last amen to a migratory song. They're never looking around for me, their eyes are on the sky or the ground below. I'd rather be the one who loves than to be loved and never even know. Hello blackbird, hello starling, winter's over, be my revolutionary years. They earthed it up and promised you the stars, but you really didn't care. On singing exaltation of both the stops, you always looked a little bored. I'm singing for the love of it, have mercy on the man who sings to be adored. Hello blackbird, hello starling, winter's over, be my darling. A long time coming, but now the snow is gone. Woo! It's long after the birds have gone to roost, and I'm not sure if I'm singing for the love of it or for the love of you. But I'm going a long way, honey, oh, hear my confession, then I'll go. I'd rather be the one who loves than to be loved and never even know. Hello brown one, hello blue one, last night's feathers exchanged for new ones. Hello blackbird, hello starling, winter's over, be my darling. A long time coming, but now the snow is gone. A long time coming, but now the snow is gone. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. Nobody living can ever stop me as I go walking that freedom highway. Nobody living can ever make me turn back. This land was made for you and me. Come on, stand up! Your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Josh Reeder! Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage President of the Association of Flight Attendants-CWA, Sara Nelson.
who are working this event. Now give me a shout out if you are a union member. All right, we gotta love our family and love our communities by loving our union. So on the count of three, I want you to shout out your union. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. All right, now let's hear it from the people in the room who want to be a union member. Now let's hear it from all the people in the room who think unions are the way to save democracy and fight for a better world. All right, I gotta give some shout outs to AFA-CWA International Vice President Katura Johnson and International Secretary Treasurer Dante Harris. Trains running on time, Taylor Garland and Heather Morse. Thanks is not enough to the incredible Bernie Sanders team. And Union Now is for every worker struggling to form a union, and it wouldn't be here today without the help and inspiration from activists like Richard Bensinger, Faye Gunther, Courtney Loudon, Hamilton Nolan, and Evan Sutton. My name is Sara Nelson, and I'm president of the Association of Flight Attendants-CWA and a union flight attendant for 30 years. And my kiddo is right over here. Jade Bohr goes by she, her pronouns. Right here in New York, we have 6,000 flight attendants at United Airlines Local 6 and hundreds more at Delta's subsidiary, AFA Endeavor Local 45, and 5,000 of 30,000 flight attendants at Delta Airlines, based here in New York and organizing to form their union and negotiate their first contract. That Delta and other airlines use to pay Endeavor flight attendants. You know, the ones who successfully evacuated 80 people in Toronto after their aircraft crashed and flipped upside down? They pay them 45% less for doing the same job. And right now, United Airlines flight attendants are voting on a contract that will improve job security and immediately increase compensation by 45%. Along with paying flight attendants for boarding for the first time. So these are massive gains to lock in, but we will never get the things that we really need unless the working class has more unions. Our fight is the same as the entire working class, and ever since Ronald Reagan fired the air traffic controllers in 1981, unions have been on a decline. Removing the one check we all have on corporate greed. They've stolen our money and they've stolen our time. They've pushed us out of our homes into medical debt and attacked the right to an education. We all have a favorite teacher, and yet billionaires vilify teacher unions because they don't want an empowered working class. Income inequality is worse today than it was just before the Great Depression. So picture this. If you stack $100 bills, does anyone in here know what those look like? If you stack them high enough to reach one of our flights at 35,000 feet, that's 7 miles in the air, that would only be enough $100 bills to equal 3% of Elon Musk's wealth. These oligarchs are close to choking out our democracy, and they seem to answer to no one. But that isn't true. They answer to the workers at Tesla, SpaceX, SpaceX, Amazon, Whole Foods, REI, Wells Fargo, Starbucks, Google, and Delta Airlines when workers form their unions. None of our unions will change the economy alone, even as we hold them accountable one contract at a time. 70% of workers want a union, but barely 10% have one. Union Now wants to change that and bring the politics to the people and get the billionaires out. Union Now is launching today. It's a 501c3 established to directly support workers who are organizing or striking and fighting for fair contracts. Too often the boss has all the power to starve workers during a fight. Union Now will work with unions directly to ensure workers have the means to win. And if we commit to do this together, adopt the campaigns that you hear about today as your own, we can organize at a scale to win big fights against big employers. For example, go to deltaafa.org right now to get your supporter pack for when you fly Delta and help us get to an election. Winning the world we want for the people requires building our unions now. Did I scare you on that one? What'd you guys say? Yeah! All right. And now, I'm so excited to announce our first speaker, who knows how to organize and build power at scale. He's someone who owns the room with solidarity and smiles because he's fueled by the hearts of the people he represents. And every room he enters, from the family room to the Oval Office, he walks with the power of the people of New York. He literally just did this for 6 miles walking home yesterday. This is a man who knows that with a good job, it's easy to fill thousands of potholes, shovel a city full of snow, or create jobs that matter. Like the first ever deputy mayor for economic justice, filled by Madam Secretary Julie Sue. He knows that even as we face tragic loss, we must not only comfort those who grieve, but also act in solidarity to ensure all of us are safe. He's here with us on his 100th day in office, making unions and the working class central to building the city we all need. Please welcome to the stage, Mayor Zohran Mamdani to help us say Union
Sara, for the warm welcome and the incredible work that you are leading. Thank you to Senator Sanders, Brooklyn's prodigal son, for bringing us together today and for setting the example of how to stand steadfast alongside working people for decades. And thank you to each and every one of you, the organizers, the activists, the hardworking men and women of labor, for how hard you work every single day, and for the vision of a better New York City that you have built and sustained day after day, week after week, year after year. The city is many things. It is the global capital of business and technology. It is the home of the best pizza in the world, the best music in the world, the best theater in the world. But above all else, New York City is a union town. I want you to say it with me. New York City is a union town. There is no New York City without unions. Across the world, when people think of our city, they think of greatness. And when they think of that greatness, whether they know it or not, they are thinking of the power of organized labor. When they think of towering engineering marvels like the Empire State Building, they are thinking of the union steelworkers and bricklayers that built it into the clouds. When they fly halfway across the world to see a Broadway show, they benefit from unionized flight attendants, baggage handlers, and airport cleaners at JFK and LaGuardia, union hospitality workers at our hotels, and union actors and union stagehands that make magic happen on that stage. And when they think of a city where greatness is an everyday expectation, they too are thinking of the city workers who power this incredible place that we call home. The school teachers who teach our children, the New Yorkers who drive our buses and our subways, the ones who clean our streets and tend to our parks. Each and every one of those New Yorkers is in a union. And from the Met to the newsroom, the warehouse to the coffee shop, more and more New Yorkers are bargaining for their first contracts. Now, this greatness does not just happen by accident, my friends. It comes when we work hard, when we organize, and when we stand together. And it comes when we build a city that puts working people first. I am proud to stand before you as your mayor of New York City. I haven't been here at this exact venue since I was a candidate for this position. It's lovely to be home with each and every one of you who ensured that I could now stand before you as a leader of our city, but most importantly, as a mayor who stands alongside union workers. Now, we know that so much of the work that organized labor does is through negotiation. Better pay, better benefits, better hours. But there is one thing that is non-negotiable. New York City has been, is now, and will forever be a union town. Since I took office 102 days ago, we have taken that solidarity and sought to turn it into a practice. Bernie and I stood on the picket line alongside NYC nurses on strike because those who look after us when we are at our lowest moments deserve more. They deserve to be safe on the job. They deserve pay raises and pensions that were protected. And above all else, they deserve dignity. NYSNA won that dignity. Not because any politician gave it to them, not because management gave it out of the goodness of their heart, but because they stood together and because they fought for it. As my friend, Assemblywoman Farah Soufran Forrest would always remind me, closed mouths do not get fed. During the campaign, Bernie and I stood on the picket line with striking Starbucks workers because no contract, no coffee was not just a slogan. It was a demand that working people be treated with respect. That is why I created a deputy mayor for economic justice, whose job it is to make sure that we are using every lever of city government to put workers first. And that is why I put Julie Su, the former Secretary of Labor and a lifelong champion for workers and unions, in that job. Because whether you are organizing a museum or a bar, we have your backs. And it won't just be us. I'm so proud to be here today as we launch Union Now, because when we talk about the importance of taking on the crisis of income inequality, we know that the most effective tool to do so is increasing union density. And I'm so excited at the power and the potential that an organization singularly focused on exactly that will have across this country. Organizing drives and strikes can frankly be lonely work. So Union Now is going to support workers and provide them with more resources. and my administration will stand right alongside them. This moment demands nothing less. AI and robots are coming for human jobs. Worker protections are being eroded. There are companies that think that exploitation is a viable business model. They are wrong. I am looking out on a room full of New Yorkers who are spending their Sunday, their hard-earned time off, standing side by side with strangers they have never met but care about all the same. That is solidarity. That is an unbreakable bond. Because we know that a people united will never be defeated. So I ask you to say it with me one more time. New York City is a union town. New York City is a union town. New York City is a union town. The work has only just begun, my friends. The work is something that we shall all do together. Thank you very much.
Please welcome to the stage National Coordinating Committee member with Delta AFA, Brittany Norris.
Welcome aboard, everyone. My dad and many of my parents' friends. All worked for them. I thought that those establishments were the foundation of the community that we were building in Atlanta. But I was very wrong. Life experience has taught me that we, the employees, are the living, breathing workforce that builds and maintains true community. A community that looks out for one another, protects each other, and provides and protects us when we need it most. I've had many experiences on the aircraft and abroad that have shown me that my employer will never care about me as much as these flight attendants right here when we share that jump seat. They've done things for me such as giving me safety tips in a new city, helping me get emergency medical equipment while I'm assessing an unconscious passenger on the floor, or even finding me a hotel room when our company has lost me in the system and I'm stranded with no place to sleep. It took some time for me to understand that all of these interactions were creating community and building solidarity between me and my colleagues. My commitment to the Delta AFA campaign is my commitment to building that solidarity. We as Delta flight attendants deserve safe work conditions, we deserve pay protections, and we deserve a fair and competitive pay scale. Yet, organizing this campaign is larger than just my work group. This campaign is the largest private sector single vote union election in the United States with almost 30,000 flight attendants. This campaign proves that all flight attendants can stand together and fight for what we deserve. This campaign proves we can organize the South. And we are going to make it happen. When we win this, I will become a third-generation union member, and I'm so proud to continue that tradition for my family. And I'm also going to get to start that tradition for so many of my colleagues and their families. I'm so proud to join all of you here today and join the ranks of unionized workers in America. Because as you know, there are more of us than there are them. We can win this together. Labor can win together.
Please welcome to the stage Executive Officer of New York's own AFSCME, Local 1549, Elson Promise.
Good afternoon, everybody. Both of my parents were actually members of DC 37 before me, so I was DC 37 before I was born. And long story short, we all know the problems we all face today, but the one for us is we're at a defining moment in which the future of labor is being attacked. Artificial intelligence is already in our workplace. They're making decisions, they're reshaping public service, and they're being rolled out faster than worker protection itself. Technology should empower workers. It should not control us. It should not be shifting any kind of power, and also driven by privatization. We need unions. That's how we all function because of the work that our city workers do together, collectively. That's how New York runs. And skilled workers are being devalued, surveillance is expanding, and the bias systems are being treated as neutral. This is not theoretical, by the way. Right before Thanksgiving, over 30,000 New Yorkers were at risk of losing Medicaid. Right around the holidays? And what was the cause of this? Good question. A failed AI system. It was city workers, union workers, my own DC 37 family that worked overtime throughout the holidays when the system failed us to carry that burden, and our jobs are threatened. We are the expendable ones. These errors hurt us all. When people can't get care, people end up on the street. That means more people suffering, more passenger delays, who like train delays, more strain on hospital and EMS workers. In all, we demand AI to be a subject of collective bargaining. That's what we all need. We demand human oversight, protections against job loss, limits on surveillance, transparency, and above all, accountability. Because this is power, dignity, and public service. Do we allow technology to be used as a tool to weaken labor, cut jobs, and concentrate power? Or do we fight to ensure it is used to strengthen public service, protect workers, and serve the people? We know where we stand. We stand for workers. We stand for unions. We stand with fairness. And we stand for a future where technology works for the people, not against them. Solidarity.
Please welcome to the stage REI National Bargaining Committee with RWDSU, Steve Buckley.
Howdy, y'all. I'm Steve Buckley. I work at the REI store down in Soho, New York. And in 2022, me and my coworkers formed the first union in the history of REI. And since then, 10 more stores have organized the union, ranging all across the country. Because we could, because we were workers and we fucking demanded it. We would also not be here if it wasn't for the brave baristas at Starbucks who inspired us and made us believe that we deserved rights and dignity to fucking work. And like them, much of our early organizing was centered around working through a pandemic where our safety and security was put at risk. From getting sick at work, from being harassed by customers, being threatened by people who won't wear a fucking mask. That is what we were organizing around. And now we're organizing around the existence of our jobs. We are organizing around the demand that REI, in its endless pursuit of economic growth, should not do so at the expense of slashing jobs and slashing wages. But since then, like, we have experienced a unique type of violence, a constant surveillance and harassment of unionized workers, of union leaders, targeted terminations, mass layoffs with no reason. But we've not stopped organizing, we've not stopped fighting. I am here standing 4 years after we unionized without a first contract. I was part of the worker delegation that announced our union, and I'm still standing here before you today because we deserve dignity and respect at work, and it's not going to come unless we keep fighting for it. And like many of the retail and service workers who've organized over the last few years, we always hear, like, why don't you quit? Why don't you get a new job? Why don't you just move on? This is supposed to be, you know, a short-term thing, or this or that. And to that I say, I am getting a better job. I'm organizing my job to make it less shitty. And all of these companies have seemed to forgot in their mindless obsession with AI that it is the workers who make these places run, that it is us as people who sell clothing and help people learn how to be outside and tell them how to not die when they climb a goddamn mountain, that we are the people who drive their profit. They have forgotten that New York City is a union town. They have forgotten that workers across the country and community members and members who own the goddamn co-op will continue to stand with workers. My time is about to be up. Go to boycottrei.com. We're calling for a boycott of the biggest sale of the year. Please stand with us and join the pledge.
Please put your hands together for AFT President Randy Weingarten.
Okay, I am really short here. Can you see me? If I like oh, look at this. This is what happens when you have a school teacher and a paraprofessional with you. So I am here with two amazing, look, everybody in this room is amazing. You don't clap for yourselves? You know, and you can tell I'm getting older. Do I read my notes? Do I not? But I am here with two amazing members from the United Federation of Teachers, Fran Cachet and Trey Taylor. Trey rushed here from church so he could tell the story. Yes. And I'm so glad to see so many union workers in this room, in this hall, in this union. Are we a union town? Yes! This is what I love about coming home. So, look, I wanted to be here today to both say what a fabulous idea it is to have this new program union now, and to also talk and introduce these two amazing workers. Because it's really important to try to get a union, but also, when you have one, it doesn't mean we have nirvana. As we know from 32BJ, who we are about to support, we have to fight for rights every single day. We're in the middle of a strike in the middle of Illinois, and just this morning at 4 o'clock, UTLA got to a contract that our members and the kids in LA deserve. What Sara, like, really lift up the Delta campaign and what Sara said, because it should not be radical to want a living wage, to want a dignified retirement. None of this is radical. Affordable health care, access to child care, great public schools, making sure we have a decent retirement, a living wage. But the only way that is going to happen is if we have union density across America. And as Sara said, emblazoned in my face most of the time is the number 9 and 10. Why? Because that is the density that we have right now. 9 to 10%. And yet 70% of Americans want unions. So Union Now is about how we get there, how we create the density. Because when we have the density, like we had in the 50s and the 60s, I'm not saying the 50s and 60s were great, but what I am saying is that we had more of a middle class then than we have now. We had less income inequality then than we had now, and we certainly had no billionaires or trillionaires then as we have now. So, we have to do things, including getting to first contracts, including organizing. And I feel like an evangelicus on this because our union, you all know me as New York City, but our union nationally has now organized, drum roll, 283 new units since 2022. Is that we still have 76 outstanding first contracts. Because we have to get first contracts. And the first contract may not look like the fifth contract, but what a first contract does is it says that we have everybody's back. And everybody is together, and there's due process, and there's a voice at work, and there's a way of challenging the boss to make sure we can get the equality, the opportunity that all workers deserve. And that is why I am glad to be back in my hometown to say Union Now, and this new process and this new 501c3 is really important. We, the community of labor, need to make sure that people who want to organize know that we have their back. So do we have their back? Yeah. Do we have their back? Yeah. In this great union town, do we have their back? Yeah. And as that saying goes, the people united will never be defeated. Will never be both. Will never be neither defeated nor divided. So, as I said, there are still constant fights that we have to wage. And we have two fights going on in New York City and New York State right now, the mighty, mighty UFT, about a living wage and about a decent retirement. And what I want is I want these two amazing workers to talk about those fights so that you know what those fights are about and why we are fighting them. So I'm going to introduce Trey Taylor first because he's a paraprofessional at PS 721 Queens. I'm forgetting my mnemonics in New York. The John F. Kennedy Jr. School. He works with special education students. But the problem right now is, and we have this in DC 37, we have this in other places too, the problem right now is you cannot make a living and live on $30,000 a year in New York City. And so what we have in New York is we are trying to get something called the respect check, a living wage. Do it outside of collective bargaining, just like Union Now is a new initiative outside in that way. And Trey is one of those leaders in trying to fight for that, one of those paras who want to make sure he stays in this job. The kids love him, but he needs to make sure he can fund and care for his own family. And then after Trey, I'm going to introduce Fran Gachette is coming up to this microphone too. And she is in her 13th year of teaching. She is a special ed teacher at Walter Reed School in Queens. Now, we ought to do a whole lot of things about two-tiered wage scales and two-tiered retirement scales and all of that. But in the city of New York, in the state of New York, the place that has more density and more union than anywhere else in the country, we should not have a two-tiered pension system for younger teachers. folks, we are fighting to fix Tier 6 so that we can have a decent pension system. So, with that, my dear friend.
I had to remove the little step stool, y'all. But how we feeling today? Make some noise, make some noise. So when I say we will fight, I want you to repeat back to me, we will win. We will, when we fight? We win. When we fight? We win. All right, so as Randy Weingarten, our amazing president of AFT, did say, I am a paraprofessional representative representing and working out of P721Q, John F. Kennedy Jr. School located in Elmhurst, Queens. Yeah, where Queens at? Queens get the money. All right? And so as a paraprofessional, we are the backbone of our classrooms. Yet, we are often treated like an afterthought when it comes to compensation. So today we are not just asking for a luxury, but we are asking for a lifeline. In this economy, where the cost of living continues to rise and basic needs are becoming harder, somebody say harder. Harder. Thank you. They're becoming very much so harder to meet. $10,000 respect check is not excessive, but it is essential. Paraprofessionals show up every day to support students with great needs, academically, emotionally, psychologically, physically, just to name a few. They are translators in instruction, stabilizers in crisis situations, and often the consistent presence that our students rely on to feel safe, to feel seen, and to feel secure. But let's be brutally honest. Love does not pay the bills. Amen? Amen. Love does not pay the bills. Compensation does not cover rent. Dedication does not put food on the table. When paraprofessionals are underpaid, we are forced to leave the very roles that we are called to. And as a believer, one thing that it reminds me of is when the Word of God says that many are called but few are chosen. This is a chosen work for us paraprofessionals. He doesn't call the ones that are equipped, but He equips the one that's called. And so with that all being said, come on. But when we the paraprofessionals are underpaid, we are forced to leave these very roles. And our city students across this great city, these classrooms right now, without the support of a paraprofessional, students desperately need, it gets them to a place of deficiency. It gets into a place of now where we understand that our students are disserviced. To deny a paraprofessional fair compensation is to deny students the full support system that they yearn for, that they need, that they rely on, that they depend on. Think about the time when you found yourself depending on your mother or your father. That's how our students depend on the paraprofessional. A $10,000 respect check says that we see you, we value you, and we understand your work, and it is important. Not only is it important, but it is indispensable. If we truly care about our students, then we must care for those who care for them every single day. So this is not extra. So when we think about the $10,000 respect check, it is not extra, but it is about survival. It is not about a want, but it is about a need. And this respect check just may seem to words to some, but what we need or what we yearn for is for respect in action. And when we make this personal, think about the times where I can give my own testimony, where I found myself, some of you may have heard me before, but I found myself sleeping in my car. Right? Let's put ourselves in that predicament. Being homeless, facing homelessness, having to sleep in your car, having to pray that you will have something in your bank account just to make ends meet, just to put gas inside of the very car that you slept in. That is where the paraprofessional is. So it is absolutely essential It is not a luxury, but it is a lifeline for the paraprofessional who decides that they have to make ends meet, but yet their heart and their compassion for what they do for the students each and every day who cannot advocate for themselves is put on that same lifeline. You are putting your essentials, your necessities, all of your life on the back burner to make sure that your student who cannot speak, who cannot write, who cannot read, who cannot do all the things that we take for granted each and every day, we put ourselves on the back burner and put them as our first priority. So when I say in this beginning, and in my closing, I want you all to repeat after me one more time. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. We're in this together, and one thing that you will walk away with on today, look at everybody inside of this room. Look to your left and look to your right. Now, as we do it in the church, look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, we are stronger together than we are apart. Thank you.
I am short. Proud of it. So, good afternoon. Yes, I'm short, girls. My name is Francisca Gachet Fran. I'm a special ed teacher at PS9, the Walter Reed School in Queens. Also a District 75 school. This is my 13th year, as Randy stated. I currently teach science and activities of daily living skills to students in grades K through 5 with severe special needs. So these are students with autism, who are emotionally disturbed, with multiple disabilities. These are students on feeding tubes. These are students this is their last chance. These are students who cannot be in your everyday community schools. I am there every single morning, Monday through Friday, from 8 to 2:20, sometimes later, taking care of them. So I came into District 75 in 2013 through the New York City Teaching Fellows Program. Prior to becoming a teacher, I worked in CUNY, but I volunteered as a learning leader, working with students with special needs in the New York City public schools. So obviously I came into this field with love. So at the time, while getting into the program was highly competitive, finding a teaching position was also difficult. But that was 2013, and Tier 6 was only in effect for 1 year. Certification requirements hadn't changed yet, so I am grandfathered in under the former certification exams. Since then, we've experienced a huge shortage of teachers, as those in the previous pension tiers are retiring and college graduates are choosing not to enter the field of education. A field that, despite the level of education required and the intense process to become certified in New York State, we're one of the hardest states to become certified in. Our field is highly devalued. You see it all the times in the news. We are constantly looked down upon. Despite the work we do, teachers, and especially public school teachers throughout this country, are constantly looked down upon. There's no profession that exists without some kind of schooling provided by a teacher. Hello. Tier 6 is an example of how public school teachers are being devalued. Not only is it difficult to become a teacher in this state and the work highly demanded, we are told we have to work longer. We have to pay more into our pensions if we want to consider retiring comfortably. The burnout in our profession is real, and still we're expected to work over 40 years in the same capacity if we want to retire with our full benefits. Paraprofessionals coming in at 18 are working 43 years and up. Is it no wonder that less people are entering the field? And who benefits from this? Not our students, when there's not enough qualified teachers and staff members to educate them. Not taxpayers who are paying the high salaries of teachers who have to stay till 63 at their highest paid salaries. and not communities who rely on us to provide their children with education and to provide all of you with an education in order to get into the fields that you are in right now. Everybody is here because of a teacher. You deserve the same respect. When we fight, we win.
Please welcome to the stage 39-year member of SEIU through TBJ, Artist Brown.
First things first, when I say 32, you say BJ. 32! BJ! 32! BJ! 32! BJ! We don't play. Hi family, my name is Artist Brown and I'm a proud member of SEIU Local 32BJ, and I'm here today with my president, Manny Pastridge. I'm a member of the largest realty union in the country. And what we do right now is we have 185,000 members up and down the East Coast, but I work here in New York City in the residential division. I've been a concierge in a luxury condo on the Upper West Side for 39 years. And we're in the biggest fight right now for our contract. I also sit on the bargaining committee, and I'm sitting across the table with billionaire building owners fighting for a new contract, and they want us to give back our health care premium. They want to mess with our wages. We're not having none of that, right? We're not having that. Come on. You are not putting your hands in our pockets. And as I sit across the table from them, and like I said, I'm a concierge in a luxury condominium right here on Central Park West, and I see the sales going up. I see apartments starting at $1 million, and some of the apartments, I've been there so long, I saw some of those apartments being sold four and five times, right? And right now, on April 15th, this coming Wednesday, we're gonna have a rally and a strike vote, and we're gonna shut down Park Avenue. That's right, we're gonna shut down Park Avenue, and we're gonna have a strike vote, and there's 34,000 members in the residential division, and if we vote to strike on midnight, April 20th, we will walk off the job. And one thing I know for sure is that rich people do not like to be inconvenienced. So we talking about people that may have to put out their own garbage. No. Have to hail their own cabs. That's right. Come downstairs and get their packages. And guess what? They don't like strangers in the building. But I'm here with my union family in solidarity. New York is a union town. Right? Right? So I want to thank everyone for being here. I want to thank unions for giving me the opportunity to speak on behalf of my union, 32BJ. Again, when I say 32, you say BJ? 32? BJ! 32? BJ! We don't play.
Please welcome to the stage Jerome Sloss and Connor Spence for Organizing for Dignity at Amazon.
Hello, my name is Jerome Sloss. I live in Brooklyn, and I work as an Amazon delivery driver, and I'm a member of the Teamsters Local 804. I'm also a working musician, and I create music that reflects the harsh realities for working folk living through class inequality. In doing so, I have learned a hard and often repetitive lesson, that everyone is an artist until rent is due. That my work and creativity are limited to what's in my bank account, which means if I want to bring my ideas and music to life, I have to sacrifice 40 hours of my life to a corporation that doesn't give a shit about people. That doesn't sit right with me. I joined this fight because I believe in solidarity amongst working class citizens and building worker power. I can no longer stand by and allow corporate greed and labor exploitation to go unchecked. I'm doing my best to organize my co-workers, but too often the cost of living and exhaustion drown out my words. For some people, this is enough to walk away entirely, but I choose to rise to the occasion and listen to my workers, to my co-workers, and build relationships because I care. When managers and owners are turning a blind eye, when they refuse to acknowledge our hard work and choose profits over people, organizers are there to collect the stories, to check in on their families, and to build. For everyone out there right now on the front lines participating in mutual aid groups, labor unions, helping workers, and organizing, please don't stop. We can protest and rally until we're blue in the face, but unless we're willing to withhold our labor and shut the system down, we're not going to get anything. The organizing that we're launching today is to provide direct funds to workers to help make sure that they can stay involved in organizing work or strikes. Teamsters have a saying, when workers fight, we win. Join us because there's always more work to be done. And thank you for your time.
Brothers and sisters, it's good to be here. My name is Connor Spence. I'm the president of Amazon Labor Union Teamsters Local 1. As you may know, our union picked a fight with Amazon, and we are now more than 4 years into that fight. 4 years of union busting, 4 years of illegal stalling, 4 years of a sophisticated war on workers waged by consultants and lawyers and corporate executives whose sole focus is to extinguish our collective dream that a better world is possible. But despite all that, we are still standing. And we're still standing for 2 reasons. Number one, because of the support and the solidarity that we have received from many of you and our allies in this movement, people who have volunteered, people who have donated, people who came out and stood on the picket line with us, with our workers in the blistering cold. We would not be where we are now without that support. So thank you. But secondly, and very importantly, it's the courage of our worker leaders that is keeping this fight alive. Every union, every day in this movement, there are workers who are putting it all on the line at great cost to themselves in defiance of an employer whose main weapon is futility and isolation and despair. We have some of our members here today, they're behind me, there's some of them in the audience, they're wearing yellow vests. I want you all to know who it is that you are standing with. These are the people that are keeping the flame alive. They are doing the slow, painful work of building a collective movement. Leaders like, I'm just going to give you one example, our sister Novelette. She is, oh, she's right there. Novelette is a full-time Amazon worker. Novelette commutes 2.5 hours to work each way. She is a single mother. She's in school earning her degree, and she shows up every single day as a committed leader in this town. Workers like Novelette, there are many like her, they are carrying this movement on their back. So yes, please show them love, show Novelette love, show all the workers love. If you see them, tell them that you appreciate the work that they do and that you are standing with them. It's because of workers and because of our allies that the fire is still alive and that we've held the line long enough to win some honestly incredible victories. Just last week, we forced Amazon to affirm that Amazon workers have a right to go on strike, and we want even greater protections against retaliation so they can't punish workers who do that. And then the very next day, on the 4-year anniversary of our union win, the NLRB finally ordered, after 4 years in court, Amazon to come to the table, stop stalling, and start negotiating a strong union contract. We did that as a movement. So brothers and sisters, while this fight is far from over, know that we are making progress. None of it would be possible without each other. So when we win, and I believe that we will win, it will be because we fought together. It will be because we supported one another. It'll be because we understood that even when our struggles are not the same, they are connected. This is our fight. And if you are ready to take it on with us, then say it with me. I believe that we will win. 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 I believe that we will win.
Please welcome to the stage, proud member of the World of Warcraft Game Makers Guild, CWA, Brett Wilcox.
This is awesome. Holy crap. Good afternoon, New York City! My name is Brett Wilcox. I am a proud member of the Communications Workers of America, Local 9510, all the way from Orange County, California. And I'm a worker of the World of Warcraft video game franchise. When I joined Blizzard Entertainment nearly 5 years ago, unionization was spoken of only in whispers in our office hallways. But I remember a mantra that a very dear friend once told me. They said, nothing worth doing ever comes easy. Through persistence and a lot of hard work, our World of Warcraft developers and quality assurance workers certified one of the first wall-to-wall video game unions in our industry. Now, a full-fledged movement is taking the games and tech industries by storm. Over 4,000 Microsoft workers are now union represented. Yeah. Alphabet Workers Union, CWA, became the first union open to all employees and contractors across Alphabet's wide-reaching tech. And just last year, workers formed an industry-wide video game union that now includes worker power from those who are freelance and those impacted by the industry's devastating layoffs. Because when we fight, we win! When we fight, we win! Today, workers at Blizzard and other Microsoft studios are now in the toughest fight of our campaign. We still need to tackle sweeping changes in the workplace, including wage increases, robust protections against layoffs, and being able to have a collective say on how generative AI can and cannot be used in our work. Nothing worth doing is ever easy. Myself and James right here on our bargaining committee have been working tirelessly at the table with Microsoft, working on another tough fight in our campaign, bargaining over a landmark first contract that all workers need and deserve. We are continuing to demand that Microsoft bargains with us in good faith and without delays. But the fight does not stop there. There are so many studios and companies in the video game and tech industries that don't have agreements in place for organizing to take place, or for their leadership to remain neutral. But I look forward to the day where all my comrades in the tech space are able to build their union power together. Because every worker deserves a place that respects, protects, and dignifies them. Every worker deserves a wage that gets them beyond paycheck to paycheck living. Every worker deserves a bright future together. The labor movement, it needs you. It needs every single worker to step up and fight for what that future looks like. And all that starts with one conversation with an organizer about your workplace. The fight will not be easy, but alongside my union siblings, stewards, and supporters, the fight will be worth it. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage Starbucks Workers United member from Lower Manhattan, Nina Leon.
My name is Mina, and I'm a Starbucks barista, fighting for a first union contract. Before I worked at Starbucks, I was at Chipotle, under then CEO Brian Nichol. We were understaffed, underpaid, and overworked. But I remember hearing about this new Starbucks Workers Union. It felt like every week more baristas were joining, and it gave me hope that things could be better. Now, in 2025, I started working at Starbucks under our CEO, Brian Nichol. And would you believe it, we are understaffed, underpaid, and overworked. But now, I am a member of the union that I looked up to. When I joined the union, I was shocked to find out that we did not yet have a contract. One of the first actions I took as a rank and file member was voting yes and authorizing a strike to bring the company back to the table. My store went out on strike for over 2 months, and on the day we walked out, Mayor Mamdani's transition team was on the picket line with us. It was a moment that showed me that we were not alone in this fight. This week, we brought the company back to the table after nearly a year. But already, they're engaging in regressive bargaining. They're trying to move backwards on issues we have already settled, instead of settling the few that we have left. We are ready to bring this home and finish our first contract. And Starbucks, we expect you to do the right thing. I know that with the help with everybody in this room, we can win a fair contract, which will be the first of its kind in the fast food industry. We need you to stop buying Starbucks, delete the Starbucks, and delete the Starbucks app from your phone. No contract, no coffee.
Please welcome to the stage Sarah David, Vice President of the Writers Guild of America East, and Tala Rahman, a shop steward with the New York Times Tech Guild.
When workers' rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up like that. When workers' rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up like that. Thank you. My name is Sarah. I'm so honored to be here as a Filipino immigrant from Queens, New York. As a former journalist at Vice, and as a member of the Writers Guild of America East. And I'm especially honored because actually, Bernie Sanders was the first ever person I ever canvassed for right here in my home city 10 years ago. His campaign
inspired me to unionize my newsroom, and in the decades since, we've seen workers transform digital media from a non-unionized industry to an organized one. We've seen workers force union-busting giants like Hearst to the bargaining table and to their knees. And our fight continues today as media faces two major threats: billionaires buying news organizations, and AI taking editorial control. Mega conglomerates like Paramount, Skydance, CBS, Viacom want to use AI as a tool to deprive human workers of writing work, to litter the media landscape with misinformation, and to let democracy die in darkness. As billionaires consolidate media companies, unions consolidate worker power. That's why we need unions. And the Writers Guild, along with the News Guild, SAG-AFTRA, the Directors Guild, and the Freelancers Union, we're pushing New York State to pass the New York Fair News Act. This is common sense AI legislation with requirements for human oversight and clear disclaimers of any use of AI in news. Journalists need the New York Fair News Act to pass in the Senate and the Assembly and to be signed into law by Governor Hochul this year, an election year. And workers need your solidarity in the fight of organized money versus organized people, because the people will always win. And I ask you one more time, when workers' rights are under attack, what do? Stand up, fight back!
Good afternoon, everyone! My name is Tala, and I'm part of the Times Tech Guild at the News Guild Local 31003. 10 years ago, Bernie came to my hometown of the Boogie Down Bronx to campaign when no major politician would. Back when we were still being sold the idea of big tech for the public good. That we have control over our time through innovation and the gig economy. Today, we see the ugly truth. Our lives are made unaffordable because the products of our work have been captured by tech oligarchs. You have families working multiple gig jobs to make food on the table, while Elon Musk is set to become the first trillionaire. Now we see what these same tech bosses want with AI to mean with our labor. Through increased workloads, heightened surveillance, and mass layoffs. But despite relentless union busting, we've seen workers in media and tech unite, fight, and win. Through picket lines at the New York Times that Zohran attended before he was mayor. Through strikes over AI guardrails like we see at ProPublica. The message is clear. The only way to take back power that big tech has over our lives is through worker control of what we build and how we build it. In the face of fascism, when workers do not have a voice, technology will continue to be built to terrorize our communities at home through ICE and overseas through endless wars. That's why in our unions and Tech Workers Coalition, we must organize and build labor power across the sector. From warehouses to cafeterias, from data labelers to delivery drivers, through solidarity and collective action. We bring democracy into our workplace and to our society. So when I say when we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage a proud member of the Wells Fargo Workers United CWA, Dom Arena.
Good afternoon, union siblings. My name is Don Arena. I'm a teller at a Wells Fargo branch in West Haven, Connecticut. And I'm here to tell you why Wells Fargo workers across the country are fighting to form a union, win a first contract, and why we need your support. Most of you know about the bank's past scandals. Customers were pushed into buying financial products they didn't want because CEOs put bankers and tellers under intense pressure to meet unrealistic sales goals. Wells Fargo got caught and got penalized, but now federal regulators have let the bank off the hook. The CEO got a $30 million bonus and a $10 million raise. While many of my coworkers need a second job just to make ends meet. And that's crazy because Wells Fargo has over $2 trillion in assets. It can afford to pay its workers a living wage. But after the Federal Reserve lifted its asset cap, sales pressure is back with a vengeance. And the stress is intense. As a teller, one mistake can cost me my job. We're organizing a union to prevent that from happening. Because when workers have the right to stand up against unethical pressures without fear, we can make sure our customers are treated fairly. Now, Wells Fargo has the union busing tactics down to a science, but we've achieved the impossible. So far, we've won 29 union elections. But with 4,000 branches, we still have a lot more organizing to do. And Wells Fargo is dragging its feet in contract negotiations, hoping that we'll give up. But we won't. Because when Wells Fargo workers win, working people everywhere win. With your support, we can get Wells Fargo to agree to a fair union contract that will help us to finally make the bank a better place for ourselves, our families, our communities, and our customers. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage co-organizer of the Transit Museum Collective of AFSCME District Council 37, Patricia Janik.
Good afternoon. My name is Patricia. I'm an organizer with the New York Transit Museum Collective and a new member of District Council 37. Last summer, my colleagues and I started talking about issues we were having at work, feeling undervalued and underpaid while management often made decisions that affected us without our input. We care deeply about the work that we do, connecting visitors to the history and impact of public transit, an industry that itself has a rich labor history and is maintained today by tens of thousands of unionized employees in New York City. Like the transit employees who knew they were stronger together, we demanded the dignity and respect we deserve by organizing a union. As both part-time and full-time workers across departments, we broke down silos and built a strong community of workers who are invested in each other's well-being. As my co-organizer, Ava Dennis, says, organizing is about becoming friends with your coworkers and building trust. Without community, what is even the point? I'm proud to say that 2 weeks ago, we, the workers of the New York Transit Museum, won our election to form a union with a unanimous yes vote. We joined thousands of unionized cultural workers across New York City who are represented by DC 37. Our victory is part of a growing movement to organize workers in the cultural sector. Here in New York and across the country, tens of thousands of cultural workers have unionized through AFSCME Cultural Workers United. When management initially denied our request for voluntary recognition, we demanded that our voices be heard. We filed for an election with the NLRB, launched our public campaign on social media and a petition with signatures from 1,000 members of our community, and spent our weekends passing out flyers to visitors outside the museum. Thank you to our union siblings, including many people in this room, who stood with us and supported our campaign. Our story shows that when workers come together, we have real power. But we recognize that our rights are continuously being threatened by this administration and by the anti-union billionaire class. We need elected leaders in Congress, at the state capitol, and in City Hall who will stand up for workers and fight alongside us to protect our right to collectively bargain. We also need workers like you all to talk to your coworkers and stand up to your bosses because we have the power. We've won our union, but this is just the beginning, and now we head to the bargaining table with your support and solidarity. So thank you.
Please welcome to the stage a bargaining committee member of Contract Faculty United UAW at New York University, Elizabeth Fay.
Hi, everybody. At NYU, where I teach, half the full-time faculty have tenure. The other half are professors like me. We do the same work, but we do more of it for lower wages and with weaker job security. My siblings in the UAW and the auto industry might call us Tier 2 professors. The tiers below us, part-time faculty and graduate teaching assistants, unionized decades ago. But full-time faculty at private universities in the US have weak to non-existent collective bargaining rights. We started organizing our union in 2017, and it took us 7 long years to get our bosses to agree to a voluntary recognition election outside the NLRB, which we won in a landslide in 2024. Then, they slow-walked us for 17 months of negotiations. However, this February, more of us voted to authorize a strike than had voted in our union election 2 years earlier. A month later, when they still hadn't agreed to fair terms, we walked out of our classrooms and onto some of the longest picket lines our campus has seen in decades. 39 hours later, we had a tentative agreement. We won the highest minimum salaries in the country, raises for everyone in our union, support for our careers and families, real job security, and academic freedom protections. We didn't wait for a friendlier board or fairer laws. We fought and we set new standards for full-time faculty at private universities nationwide. We were ready to fight because we'd been organizing for 9 years. We had talked to each other, but we had also talked to our students about how little of the $100,000 in yearly tuition they pay goes to our salaries, and about the debt that many of them will carry in exchange for the education that they get with us. Higher education is under attack, and across the country, university administrations are choosing not to fight. Instead, they are eagerly turning our institutions into educational services corporations. This is bad for staff, it is bad for faculty, it is absolutely catastrophic for students. Collective bargaining can curb our bosses' worst impulses, but if we want to save our universities, we have to keep organizing between contract cycles, we have to keep organizing to build power among staff, among students, among faculty, across ranks and titles. We all need to fight. They are not going to fight. And when we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage an organizer of the Philly Whole Foods Workers Campaign with UFCW 1776, Ed Dupree.
It's good, y'all. My name's Sara Dupree. I'm a Whole Foods worker. I've been with the company for 10 years. And, I began working there in 2016 at Whole Foods. Back then, there were profit-sharing incentives, reasonable health care for all workers, and we actually felt passionate about the work that we did. But a lot of that changed when Amazon bought Whole Foods. Corporate micromanaging, a shrinking workforce, and higher workloads became the norm. The pandemic only put those changes into overdrive. In that time, I built deep and strong connections with my coworkers, gaining wonderful friendships, and meeting people that I would later consider my comrades. These connections helped us understand the need for a union at our store. After years of organizing underground, we won our election in January of 2025. That's the first Whole Foods to unionize under Amazon's ownership. Now, while we are still in the process of fighting Amazon for a contract, it's given us an understanding of the power workers stand to gain from a union. It's the ownership of our labor that is the empowerment that so many are seeking in our current political moment. A union is the lab of democracy for the working class, and as it's a tool for economic gains, it's also a tool against fascism. This is where working class people learn and can fight against the oligarchic ruling class. Workers must get organized, not only for our wallets, but to shift the direction of our collective futures. EWOC is the organization that we turn to that supports workers and teaches them exactly how to organize a union. We learn the basics from them, and they have volunteers all in New York and throughout the country ready to help you do the same in your workplace. So now's the time to get educated, but most importantly, it's the time to get organized.
Please fasten your seatbelts and welcome back to the stage, Sara Nelson.
Union what?
No!
Union what?
No!
Right on. So since we're here together at this union meeting, I think it's important that we shout out a couple other campaigns. First of all, TSA workers went for over a month without pay, and through our solidarity, we forced them to get some back pay, but their next paycheck is not certain. So we say, ice out, pay TSA! Ice out, pay TSA! Ice out, pay TSA! They're trying to demoralize workers to privatize everything. Same thing with our post office. For our postal workers and our letter carriers, we say, U.S. mail is not for sale! 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 And for our hotel workers right here in New York City, whose contracts are going to expire right in the middle of the World Cup, we say to the New York City hotel industry, we've got their backs! We've got their backs! We've got their backs! We've got their backs! All right, go to supporthotelworkers.com to learn more about their fight, and always ask for daily cleaning in your hotel room, leave a tip, and check fairhotel.org before you book your hotel room. Now listen, everything good that we have is because people fought and died for our rights. And social justice is directly tied to economic justice. On Dr. King's last night alive in Memphis, he told the crowd of striking sanitation workers that he had been to the mountaintop. He had seen the promised land. He said, I may not get there with you, but we as a people will get there. Dr. King knew that no one person or one leader can do it alone. With those words, he deputized all of us to take up the fight for freedom. And now it is up to us. It's our time to build our unions for a good job with a living wage. Union now?
Union now!
A decent home?
Union now!
Healthcare is a human right?
Union now!
A good education without a death sentence?
Union now!
The right to read and speak the truth?
Union now!
The right to protest our government and love the immigrants and Native Americans who have always made our country great. A world where we can breathe the air, drink the water, hike, run, swim, and ski in our parks.
Union now!
A time and space for all of us to live, grow, and love. Union now.
Union now!
Say it with me. Union now. And now I want to thank the person who made it possible for this union meeting here today. Our chief organizer, who has done more to lift up worker fights across this country than anyone else with a platform anywhere in the world. The person who has said the trade union movement is the way that we fight back the worst scourges of capitalism and the billionaires who are choking out our world. The man who I said I would follow anywhere and will do anything because he believes in all of us, and he believes not me. Us. Not me. Us. Give it up for Senator Bernie Sanders!
Thank you. Brothers and sisters, it is an honor to be with you today, and let me thank you for what you're doing in fighting to make this country the kind of country it must become. Thank you all very much. And let me thank my dear friend Sara Nelson for helping to organize this meeting. Sara is the president of the Association of Flight Attendants, has stood up to corporate greed every day and understands the meaning of solidarity. Sara, thanks for all that you're doing. And let me thank our great new mayor here in New York City, Zohran Mamdani. The main point that I want to make to all of you is a very, very simple point. And many of you know it already. And that is, we are living in an unprecedented moment in American history. Never been a moment like this, and it is an extremely dangerous moment. And if the working class of this country is going to survive, a class that my wife Jane and I proudly come from, if the middle class of this country is going to survive, we must understand that status quo politics and status quo economics is no longer good enough. Brothers and sisters, we need a new boldness in our thinking, and a new boldness in our ideology, and a new aggressiveness in our actions. That's not just rhetoric. Let me tell you why I say this. It's absolutely important that all of us here and every American understand that in the ruling class of this country today, there is an extraordinary level of arrogance and cruelty. Got to understand that. In many ways, these guys believe, like the monarchs, and I'm not exaggerating, like the monarchs of the 19th century, they believe that they have the divine right to rule. I think you don't agree with that. Together, brothers and sisters, we need to take them on, and together, we're going to defeat them. Let me tell you why we have to take them on and why we have to defeat them. It's not just for us, it's for our kids, our grandchildren, and the future generations that come. Never before in American history have so few people had so much wealth and power. Never before. The truth is that the 1%, the people on top, people who are running this country, have never, ever had it so good. But the sad reality is that for these people, all that they have is not good enough. They want more and more and more. And they don't care who they step on to get what they want. If you have to destroy the working class, no problem. If you have to cut Social Security and Medicare, no problem. If you have to take food away from hungry kids, not a problem. They want more and more and more. I think some of you may think, well, this is just rhetoric. Bernie is exaggerating. I am not. These guys are extremely, extremely greedy people, and they could care less in terms of what happens to our children, what happens to our parents and our grandparents, and what happens to our environment. Today, the top 1% now owns more wealth than the bottom 93%. Got it? Today, and this is really quite incredible, today one person, Mr. Musk, who is worth over $800 billion, owns more wealth than the bottom 53% of American households. One man today owns more wealth than the bottom 53% of American households. And that inequality is getting worse. Last year alone, after receiving the largest tax break in history from Donald Trump, 938 billionaires, fewer than 1,000 people in America, became $1.5 trillion richer. 938 people became $1.5 trillion richer. Since he was elected, President Trump and his own family have become $4 billion richer. So the people on top are doing unbelievably well. But further, never before in American history have we had such concentration of ownership. Fewer and fewer large corporations owning and controlling our economy, what happens to workers and the prices we pay when we shop. Never before in American history have so few people controlled what we see, hear, and read in the media, both traditional media and social media. Check out who owns Twitter. You know who owns Twitter? Who owns Facebook? Who owns YouTube? Who owns Instagram? Who owns Twitch, etc. These are, without exception, the wealthiest people in the world. Not only media do they own, maybe more consequentially, never before in American history have we seen a ruling class within a corrupt campaign finance system exercise the kind of political power they have. In the 2026 midterm elections, the elections are coming up in November, these guys already, the billionaire class already has spent over $430 million to influence political campaigns and to buy the candidates who represent their interests. That's over $400 million already, no doubt. That number will be in the billions by the time election day comes. So that is the reality. Massive income and wealth inequality, massive concentration of ownership, increased billionaire control over our media and our political system. That's one reality. Here's another reality. The American working class has been under savage attack for years. As all of you know, over the last many decades, there has been an explosion in technology. Every worker here is producing a lot more than a worker did 50 years ago. Now, one might think if you were producing more than somebody was producing 50 years ago, you would be making a hell of a lot more money, right? Wrong. Because today, the average American worker, if you can believe it, is making less than he or she did 53 years ago after adjusting for inflation. And I mentioned, I was here a couple of weeks ago and I made this point and I'll repeat it briefly. I grew up in a working class family in a distant world called Brooklyn. You ever hear of Brooklyn? So my father was a paint salesman, never made any money. We lived paycheck to paycheck. But we lived in a rent-controlled apartment. My brother went to Brooklyn College, tuition free, etc. Bottom line is, despite having no money, my guess is that we lived under stress when I was a kid 50, 60 years ago than many working class families in New York are doing right now. In other words, and by the way, I should also tell you this, my mom was able to stay home and raise the two boys. How many working class families do you know where mom or dad can stay home and have just one breadwinner pay the bills? So what the hell is going on in the economy? The very rich are becoming much richer. In fact, according to the Rand Corporation, not exactly a socialist outfit, over the last 50 years, $79 trillion in wealth has been redistributed from the bottom 90% to the top 1%. So massive transfer of wealth from working people to the very rich. Meanwhile, today, 60%, and I gotta say this over and over again, Europeans come into my office in Washington, they have not a clue. They have not a clue what's going on with the American economy. 60% of our people today are living paycheck to paycheck. And I do not have to explain to anybody in this room what living paycheck to paycheck is about. It means that every week people are struggling to pay the outrageous cost of housing, struggling to pay their health care bills, prescription drugs, groceries, childcare, and other basic necessities. Nearly half of older workers in America, if you can believe it, these are people who have worked their entire lives, have nothing saved for retirement. Think about it. Richest country in the world. Man, woman working 40, 50 years doing hard work. They get 60 years of age, they got nothing in the bank for retirement. Over 20% of our seniors are trying to live on $15,000 a year or less in the richest country in the history of the world. We are the only major nation not to guarantee health care for all as a human right. And the result of that is that 85 million Americans are uninsured or underinsured. Over 500,000 people go bankrupt every year. Whole lots of people get diagnosed with cancer. And you know what happens? Many of them lose their homes or deplete all of their life savings because they were diagnosed with a very difficult disease to treat. In America today, our life expectancy, how long we live, is lower than all other industrialized countries. And listen to this. If you are working class in America, you will live 6 years shorter life than if you are rich. And you know why? Why is that? What's the one word? No? What's the word? Why do working class people live shorter lives than the rich? You got it. Struggling every day to take care of your family, wondering how you're going to feed your kids or pay the rent. What happens if your car breaks down? You know what that does to your body? We had a hearing on this in Washington. Doctors describe it as the physiology of poverty. Wrecks your body, wrecks your mind. That's what's going on in America today. And let me tell you this, that unless we fundamentally transform our economic and political systems, the worst is yet to come. The oligarchs, people like Musk, Bezos, Zuckerberg, Ellison, Thiel, and others, are pushing artificial intelligence, AI, and robotics extremely aggressively. They are putting combined many hundreds of billions of dollars into research, development, and implementation. What is their goal? Why are they spending hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars on AI and robotics? I'm sorry to say you're right. All right? What's the goal? And it's not complicated. Their goal is to eliminate workers. You buy a robot, no one knows exactly what it will cost, maybe $20,000, $30,000 to buy a robot. That robot does not get a salary, does not get a vacation, does not get health care, does not get benefits, and that robot works 24 hours a day. And you get all of that for maybe $30,000. That is why they are pushing robotics and AI. It will significantly increase corporate profits. Elon Musk, who is, among other things, a notorious union buster, is converting Tesla, as you may know, into a company that manufactures robots, and he wants to produce 1 million robots a year. And Musk has said, and I quote, Elon Musk, quote, AI and robots will replace all jobs, working will be optional, end quote. That's Musk, not just Musk. Not content with trying to replace the 600,000 workers in his Amazon warehouses, I know we've heard from some of them this afternoon. He wants to replace those men and women with robots. Jeff Bezos, the 4th richest man alive, is seeking to raise $100 billion. And you know what he wants to do with that money? He wants to automate factories in America and around the world. And what that means, basically, if Bezos gets his way, there will likely be very few, if any, manufacturing or warehouse jobs left in the country. Let me give you another example. Last month I was out in San Francisco and I drove in a Waymo. Anybody ever drive in a Waymo or something like that? Okay, it's a driverless car, drives very nicely. They're all over San Francisco and many other cities around the country. And driverless companies, car companies, are expanding very rapidly. In Texas right now, there are driverless 18-wheeler trucks on the highway. So what do you think is going to happen to cab drivers, and Uber drivers, and truck drivers, and bus drivers, and all of those many millions of workers who are now involved in transportation? If Bezos and his friends get their way, they will be out on the street. That's what will happen to them. Unless we stop it, it could happen fairly soon. But it is not just blue-collar jobs that are at risk of being destroyed by AI and robotics. Jim Farley, who is the CEO of Ford, has predicted that AI will eliminate, quote, literally half of all white-collar jobs in the US within the next decade, end of quote. Dario Amodei, the CEO of Anthropic, predicted that, quote, AI could displace half of all entry-level white-collar jobs in the next 1 to 5 years, end of quote. That is what the oligarchs are pushing. So what do we do about it? And this is maybe the most important point that I want to make. We must stop believing that we are powerless. We must stop believing that it is okay, it's kind of natural for Elon Musk and a handful of other multi-billionaires who are extremely greedy, for them to shape the future of humanity. We do not give them the right to do that. of the oligarchs and the media that they own is to make ordinary people feel that there is nothing that they can do to shape the future. What the Musks of the world tell people is, we got the money, we got the power, we own the politics, we own the media. What are you going to do about it? You ain't got nothing. We got it all. Forget about it. And what we are here today to say to Mr. Musk and his friends, go to hell. We have the power, we will use it. I work in Washington, D.C., proud to be Vermont's senator. And every day I bump into the extraordinary wealth and power of today's ruling class. It impacts us in everything that we do. And I see it, by the way, in both political parties. But I am also aware of what we can accomplish when we come together as we are today. I want to tell you a little story, if I might. Do you know why the oligarchs have opposed Zohran Mamdani so strongly? You know why they've opposed him? Yeah, they don't want to pay more in taxes. Not really a big deal for them. What's a few $1 million here or there? Yeah, they think that free childcare and free buses and publicly funded grocery stores are going to lead to communist totalitarianism, etc., etc. But that's not really it. What the reason is that they are so opposed to Mamdani is that they saw in this city over 90,000 working people, black and white and Latino, gay and straight, young and old, Christian, Jew, Muslim, and non-believers. They came together. They came together to knock on doors and to elect a mayor and a government that represents working people, not the oligarchs. And their nightmare is not just what happens in New York City. It is the fear that working people all over our country will do exactly the same. That instead of hating each other because of the language we speak or where we were born, we're going to stand together and fight for a government that represents all of us, not just the billionaires. So what you have done here in New York City is the beginning of their nightmare, and we got to make that nightmare come into a reality. The good news is that in the midst of all of the economic uncertainties that we are experiencing right now, the trade union movement, according to all of the polls, is now more popular than it has been for a very, very long time. And you guys know the reason why. When people join a union, they get better wages, better benefits, better working conditions. And that is why, and what this meeting is about, and what Sarah and all of you are trying to do, is we've got to get out and organize, bring people into the movement in a way that we've never ever done. But it is not only the absolute need to rebuild the trade union movement in America, we need to rebuild the political system as well. We need to to restore our democracy and get big money and their super PACs out of the political process. That means overturning that disastrous Citizens United Supreme Court decision. And if the Democratic Party wants our support, it must become a party of the working class, not of corporate America. Agenda that, when passed, will make certain that in this, the richest country in the history of the world, every man, woman, and child can live with dignity and security. And the agenda is not complicated. AI and robotics have got to work for working people, not the billionaire class. We have got to join every other major country on earth and guarantee health care as a human right, not a luxury. In the richest country on earth, we should not have the highest rate of childhood poverty of almost any major country. We need the best child care system in the world. And right here in New York City, I know the mayor is moving forward with free child care. That's what we got to do all over the country. We need the best educated workforce in the world. Higher education should be tuition free at public colleges and universities. We need to raise the minimum wage to a living wage. And when senior citizens retire after a lifetime of work, they should be able to live in security and in dignity. I'll never forget, we did a hearing in the committee last year, I think it was a year and a half ago, and we had a worker from the UAW come. And she said, you know, my dad, she works in an auto factory, I think in the Midwest. He said, when my dad retired, my grandfather retired actually, he had a very good pension. Do you all know what a defined benefit pension plan is? Younger people may not know this, they really may not. But not so many decades ago, for many large companies, when you retired, you had a defined pension. You knew exactly what you were getting. Stock market went up, it went down, didn't matter. You knew what you got, and they were strong benefits. Every worker in America deserves a decent pension retirement plan. And it goes without saying that we need to pass legislation like the PRO Act, which makes it easier for workers to organize and join unions. So brothers and sisters, let me conclude the way I began. This is literally an unprecedented and dangerous moment in American history. If Trump and his fellow oligarchs get their way, we will be living in a society where fewer and fewer people have more and more wealth and more power, where democracy will be undermined, where workers will be thrown out on the street with no recourse. That is not the America we want for ourselves or for our kids. So the good news is, if we stand together and we not let Trump and his friends divide us up, when we stand together and fight for a government that works for all of us, there is nothing that we cannot accomplish. Let's do it. Thank you.